message and rate the hotel or comment on the hotel. So it gives you that opportunity to. So otherwise, typically you will end up writing on the internet about the hotels, the bad experience that you had with the hotels. You will just see the bad things about. So I think that is very important. So as an organization, we should give them an opportunity to write good things about it.
So I would flip the question saying that if you go back to them and say, name 3 things that you absolutely hate of the hiring process. Do you think people will really rant the feedback that what you want? Because rather than saying, tell me how the hiring process was, they'll say you all the good things. Tell me about the HR process, they'll say all the good things, right? But if you flip it in the negative side, do you think they're going to get back with appropriate feedback, which is
no,
useful?
typically, I'll tell you what.
Maybe if it's anonymous, there is
so
no
I'll tell you what.
It's
not the hiring process they criticize about.
I mean, I just give an example.
Yeah. So they criticize more about the organization, the bosses. How bad they were in terms of giving the pay. Salary comes in very late. Stuff like that. And some of it, we need to kind of take corrective actions to kind of fix it, because it's a very small world now. If you sack a guy without a reason, or just because you overstaff,
It's public.
it's public next day. You're gone. So it's very difficult to get talent then. So you have to be very, very careful, because the age in which we are, these kids quickly put it out and spread it across. So, and whatever network that you're picking up people from, you're thinking that that network is small. It is not. So he will spread it out to his network, and that network will go spread it out to somebody else. So if you're given an opportunity to write something nice about the organization, and the best ambassadors to write about the organization is your own current employees. So if you can push a message and say that write something, what you feel good about the organization, if you can just write voluntarily, you don't have to post it. So if you can get some good comments, even if somebody is putting some 1000 bad comments, they'll get hit with these good comments.
So, I think you asked us as to what are the themes that we follow on branding on the social media. In fact, that is one of them. I mean, ensuring that, and it's there are many a times we upload it and forget it, but then every week we upload a fresh testimonial, and also like the other themes are many. I mean, if you want to attract talent from premier colleges like IIT, so they are looking at whether your company is involved in enough innovations.
Yes.
Are we getting innovation awards? So those are some of the things that we constantly upload, and CSR again is really catching up. And, so I think those are something that we regularly upload. So it would douse a bit of all that fire that can probably go around for some wrong reasons.
One of the things is to have your employees write on the company blog.
Yes.
They write about whatever they want to write about. But that kind of reinforces the fact that your employees are happy and doing something nice in the company.
Yes.
And that's way of the tracking.
See, I think most of the content that goes out on a blog or a website is typically edited, because if you look at a large organization, any form of external communication gets vetted through multiple channels, and you basically, as an employee, not allowed to represent the organization on a blog. It could be your personal comments, but you cannot represent an organization unless and until it gets vetted through the communications team. So I don't know if that's a very, very feasible way of testimonials is something different.
Abhishek, the problem is not with the existing employees. So existing employees have to be used to write good things about the organization. The bad things will come from the employees who've gone. Bad things will not
So
come.
basically you're referring to testimonials, not employees kind of writing, because either scenario is good, bad, it has to go through a process.
No, I can, if let's for example, if I work with Reader, I can go to any social platform and talk, shit about Reader. Who stops me from doing that?
You cannot represent the organization when you are on a social platform. I am an employee, let's say all scripts.
I think the aim is not to represent, the aim is to give an open platform and
people
encourage both sides to...
So I worked with Reader for 4 years. So if I talk, and people know about that I worked with Reader, so if I write about Reader something nasty, obviously people are going to take some inferences out of it.
Sure. So I was referring to your previous point where you said that employees should be a part of
yes, employees can be good. Employees can be good part of getting feedback from the organization. So what are good things going in the organization? You can get it. So I'll give you an example. I was sitting with I think CTS guy. I think. So he was with Meta Graphics then. So I was taking him through some of the pages that we have recently launched called Jobbers. So I think Ghazal is going to take you through that. So I mentioned, I was just showing his pages, his company pages there, and he told me, yeah, you're right. GTS has a good work-life balance. So they have this flexible hour of working and all. So I just quickly asked him a question. If the employees or the ex-employees are saying that they have a good work-life balance and flexible hours of working, have you ever put that in the communication in attracting talent? The answer was no. Isn't that foolish enough? If that's one of the important ingredients that you can get attract talent, you should put that in your communication everywhere for that matter.
I mean,
in your website, in your ads.
We use that for building our value proposition.
Yes. So they were not doing that. So I'm saying you can get a lot of inferences from your existing employees. So that you can play up, and somewhere in there, if somebody even rants, ex-employees will get it in, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely, it does happen, but it happens in the form of testimonials rather than jobs.
So what I can understand from here is that there are two parts to it. You are referring to employees talking on company blogs and presenting their testimonials and the general discussion is also around employees going out into the social media to third-party sites and talking about their employers.
So say Yahoo Group.
Yahoo Group, WordPress, I can open this thing.
No, simple example is Glassdoor. All of our companies are there on Glassdoor, and there are a lot of ex-employees talking a lot of stuff.
Yes.
There's nothing you can really do about it. Anybody can say anything.
So
on the
whenever
internet.
we are, trying to do something around that only. Glassdoor is
What corporate marketing normally would do is, if there is some need to it, they would go back and make a statement saying this is our version of it, but they would not go and refute each and every comment.
Right.
So it's just not possible. It doesn't make sense.
Also, if you try to stop the social side of it, there is email they can flood with. They can just do mass mailing. So you can't just stop it. There's no way that you can. The only way
there is no stopping it. There is maybe participating in that conversation and corrective, like Dinesh said, getting your employees, current employees, to give their feedback on those forums. So I think we do that with Jobbers.
See, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons that we got into this area of business also is that maybe for a recruitment in a recruitment scenario, this does not come into the picture, but it's a very important tool. I'm saying the hiring numbers can go for completely a different thing if the feedback is bad, and it can completely go to a different level if the feedback is good. So that's why it becomes very important. So when you said the corporate marketing team takes care of it, I'm saying the recruitment team has to be equally responsible for it, because it's at the end of the day you guys are responsible to get talent on board.
Absolutely.
So,
and in fact, a lot of organizations create something out of the brag sheet, and that's right. That's put right in front of the recruiter's desk. That these are the top 10 things that I'm going to talk about when I talk to a potential candidate.
correct.
At least in Eden, employer branding is part of talent acquisition. So we drive it.
So maybe we can quickly take you through Ghazal. So what we are trying to attempt through Jobbers. One is we're looking at understanding what your current employee is talking about. So it's only open to employees and ex-employees. It's not open to anybody else. So we have a process by which we validate each and every comment or each and every profile which gets into the system. So we not only kind of validate that through different social footprints that he has, but we also if required call the guy and talk to them. So we do double validation before we build the comment. But we don't, unless the guy is talking foul language, we don't change the content. Content is as it is. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt, whatever the organization is going to talk about. The candidate is going to talk about. Good or bad, if it is bad, we need to take corrective actions. If it is good, we make use of it, is what the intent is. So that's how we, thought and decided to launch Jobbers. It's a very, I think, 6-8 months back that we launched.
So to take it from here, jobbers are putting. So basically jobbers, what we are trying to do is it's revolving around the current employees, the past employees, the job seekers and the company. So this is these are the four things which around which the jobbers revolves. So the main thing is that the current employees are putting the review about the company. We are asking very specific questions to the candidates who are putting their reviews. So like we had just for a few minutes ago, we were discussing top 3 reasons to work in the company. So these are the specific questions which we are going to ask to the candidate who is going to put the review. Now there are 2 ways in which you can give a review. One is a review about the company, and second you can also share an experience with the company. So it can be an interview experience. So the job seeker who is coming for say a next skill, maybe for Java, he can go on jobbers.com and he can see actually what are the questions from this particular company or say general IT companies which are asked for that interview question. So we are preparing the job seeker before he visits your office about your company. We are telling what the company is into, what are the skills which they hire, how they take the interview, and what are the reviews about the company from the current and the past employees. So a lot of specific information is given rather than just putting bad words about the company. So this is all about jobbers.
This is early days for us, just about started this some time back. So 2 is to, so that's how a page looks like. So that's TBSL pages. So the real page does not look like this, it looks very bland. So we work towards and got to some 79%. So it's the constant effort of the HR, the people, the communication, all of that has improved the score to 79%. So the attempt is, though, if any employee is wanting to look for information about an organization, should land up on Jobless, and that's what the effort is towards. So, and if he is coming here, he can quickly take a note of what is the organization, what is the review, what are the people saying, what are the ex-employees saying, what is the mean median salary at which this company is offering, all of that you get.
And there is a score, and they can also see what is info agent score.
Yeah,
or a concern info score.
So competition landscape also you can get to see. You get to know their salaries. Yes, more or less range.
Range of salary, so that will be a
range of salary will get.
There are also
but again,
parameters
range
of
of salary which the employees have.
So I'll tell you what.
Which should basically not be the range.
Correct.
So it's like the HR guy actually putting for it.
So we've taken and the top 200 they want to kind of print it and publish it and all that. So we're talking to them on those lines. So it's an interesting tool. I think it's early days, but we're trying to toy with this idea of.
Also, like you said, that I mean, it's not possible to react or respond to every single comment that comes through, but to largely be aware that there are such forums where employees are talking about their employers. Of course, there are different parameters on which employees rate their employers on job boards. So this was a great discussion. I hope there were some interesting, there were a lot of interesting ideas that came through, and we hope to carry on this discussion offline. We'd like you to join us for a cup of tea or coffee. And thank you so much for taking out time for this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you for calling us.
The guy that I want to get in, I can influence him after getting him. I can. So